I like to think of our emotions as coming in multiple layers. The first layer is your initial automatic reaction to something. This could be things like you get an email and your first reaction is fear, or you look at your Saturday plans and your first reaction is boredom, or you see the shirt that someone's wearing and your first reaction is contempt. The second layer is your reaction to your own initial reaction. This could be things like you get an email, your first reaction is fear, and then you think, I'm overreacting. Why am I such a baby? Or you look at your Saturday plans, your first reaction is boredom, and then you think, I looked forward to the weekend all week, but now I'm bored when it actually arrives. What's wrong with me? Or you see the shirt someone's wearing, your first reaction is contempt, and then you think, such a terrible person. I shouldn't judge people like that. Oftentimes, what's really unpleasant isn't that first layer feeling. What's really unpleasant is the second layer reaction you're having to the first layer feeling. So here's the second layer reaction that I think makes difficult first layer feelings 10 times easier. Tell yourself, this makes total sense. You get an email, your first reaction is fear, and then you think, of course I'm afraid. I've worked in this stressful job for 5 years where every email had a chance of blowing up my weekend with new work. Feeling afraid makes total sense. Or you look at your Saturday plans, your first reaction is boredom, and then you think, of course I'm bored. I had a jam-packed week full of meetings and tasks, and now I have a really chill, relaxed weekend in front of me. My brain is struggling with this transition. It doesn't know what to do with all my extra energy. Feeling bored makes total sense. Or you see the shirt someone's wearing, your first reaction is contempt, and then you think, yeah, I don't like that style. I tend to associate that style with pretentious people who are just showing off how much money they have. Feeling contemptuous when I make that association makes total sense. You have huge capacity to feel difficult first layer feelings when you have a supportive second layer reaction. This is why people are often so good in crisis mode. You can handle big emergencies, big tragedies, big all hands on deck situations, and all the big emotions that they bring up because you're simultaneously thinking, it makes sense that I'm feeling this way. You waste zero time questioning yourself or doubting yourself. You just get to work handling the situation and processing your own difficult emotions. On the other hand, having an unsupportive second layer reaction makes even the smallest first layer feelings almost unbearable. You could start with the smallest little spark of self-doubt. But when you add, I shouldn't be feeling that way on top of it, it becomes a massive flame. You could start with the tiniest little friction of irritation. But when you add, I'm overreacting on top of it, it becomes a massive wound. Or you could start with the smallest little whisper of anxiety. But when you add what's wrong with me on top of it, it becomes a raging storm. By the way, this is why telling people to just calm down never works. You're taking their initial reaction, you're adding you should be calm on top of it, and that will always create an explosion. It's as reliable as any chemical reaction. So even if you don't know how or why your initial reaction makes sense, start with the premise that it makes sense. And then ask yourself with curiosity, how does this make sense? Because every part of you makes sense. And even if you doubt that, I know 100% that that's true. So come talk to me if you want some help having this conversation with yourself. Go to the link above and book a free coaching consult.